What is happening, everyone? It's GBall, and I have a knife here to unbox for you, coming in from Olitans. At the time I am recording this, these knives just were released, so they will be available. I'll have links to them down in the description. I know Olitans is very popular with a lot of you out there. If this is your first time stopping by, welcome to GBall Vision. Drop a comment below. Let me know what your carry is looking like today. You always get great packaging from Olitans. This is going to be the new Gecko here in their premium catalog. And premium, I mean, these are going to be about $140, $150. They do have knives that go up above that price point, and they're starting to really put out some high quality stuff. The last few Olitans knives that I handled out of their premium line felt so good. Real glassy smooth on the action. The fit and the finish of the knives were spot on, and I'm hoping this one is going to be the same way. Weave carbon fiber for the handle material, and then this is going to be over top titanium liners, and then a full length titanium backspacer. Let's double check that. But that is all titanium, and then a milled titanium clip that is going to be right hand carry only. It is going to be a standard liner lock, chamfered off there, easy to get to and disengage. The detent felt good off that first flick there, nice and strong, easy to get to those thumb studs. That's chamfered out as well on both sides. So that'll be easy to reverse flick. And then we're looking at the SLD Magic here. I'll pop up a couple of blurbs, and then if you want to pause it and read it, you can. But it's a tough steel. It's like a tool steel. So I don't know all the ins and outs and intricacies of the steel, but for the price point and what I know, it is a good steel. I've gotten a lot of great comments back on the SLD Magic steel, and not only does it perform pretty well, it looks cool. Sharpening choil is pretty good, and then a standard drop point, very versatile. This is definitely what I would consider a gentleman's EDC. Let's get a look here at the actual size of this thing. So we're talking 7 1/8 overall, 3 1/8 of cutting edge, and then we could call it 3 1/4 of total blade. And to give you a better reference on the size, I have some comparison knives here. Up top, the Kaiser Madrack, and on the bottom, the Kershaw Bel Air XL. And two more, the Spyderco Para 3 up top and the PM2 on the bottom. We'll get the 50 ways baked in GBall Vision Hank here and get a look at this clip. This is a clip they have used in the past, and it's one of my favorite ways to do a clip. Milled tie, love the aesthetic of it, and it carries really well. It's also nice and comfortable as far as ergonomics go, and then you have just a nice little bit poking out of the pocket, and many of you know I prefer that. Just gives you a nice place to grab a hold of the knife securely and pull it out of the pocket. I really like that. Yes, I understand there's a place for deep carry as well, depending on the scenario, and that's one of the many great things about collecting knives. You can get all kinds of different ones for different cases. It's time to get the arch nemesis out here and give the Gecko a weight check. Now, I like to play a little game here on the channel with the new knives that come in. I attempt to guess the weight, and I always invite you to play along. You put your guess down in the comments, ounces or grams, whichever you prefer. Even if you already have a comment down there, go ahead and put your guess. And if you're enjoying this video, you like knives and gear, you're in the right place. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and ring the bell. I'm going to give it a go here, and I'm going to say it's got a hefty weight for its size. Not overly heavy, but it feels pretty good. I'm going to say 3.1 of total blade, roughly. 3.1, 3.2. I'm going to say this is like a 3.4. Could be like a 3.5. Lock it in. 3.5. Oh! Oh, man. 92 grams and 3.3 ounces. I'll take that. That's pretty damn good. You're not gonna feel, 0.2. I gotta be locked in. But that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I thought that's pretty good. Now it's time to get the calipers out here and get a couple of measurements on the handle and blade. We are zeroed off. We'll start off with the handle thickness, and that looks nice and thick, definitely above 0.5, and it's at 0.61. So nice and healthy, 15.6 millimeters. Roll over here to the blade stock and see what that's looking like. 3.4 millimeters, 136 thousandths. That's the thickest part of the blade. And then we'll get a BTE here behind the edge measurement and try to get the best hold that we can. And that's coming in there at 20 thousandths behind the edge. So pretty thin, pretty good, I will say. Let's see how this bad boy cuts out of the box. And to be 100% upfront with you, I've had several knives in SLD Magic from at least 2, if not 3 different companies. And although I haven't tested them and wrote down the results and all that sort of thing, they seem to do well. I don't know if I'd be right in comparing it to something like maybe like a performance of a VG10, like something like that, which is, for those of you who don't know, that's pretty damn good. That's good toughness. That is good corrosion resistance, really good. And that means taking a nice toothy sharp edge, pretty good edge retention. And it might even have better edge retention than that. That's just, where I'm leveling it off at, type of a deal. But somebody, who may know more than me, go ahead and, correct me down in the comments. And I did at one point know a lot more than I do right now, but I've kind of forgotten some of that stuff. But I know that it's a pretty highly regarded steel in a lot of other cases, and it's, being brought to the knife world. And I think, it's going to do pretty well. Like I said, I've gotten a good response back from other people who have picked up something in SLD Magic, whether it was from Olitans, North Mountain Blade, and I know there's at least 1 or 2 other companies who have used this steel already. And I think I have some from all of them, and it seems to take, from what I am capable of, a good edge, and the edges out of the box have been really good, just like this one is right here. Absolutely no complaints, especially when it comes to Olitans. I feel like they would be in a group right behind the mainstream companies. Like, they have totally made a name for themselves here over the last year. No question about it. Non-told pivot, nothing on the blade, nothing on the show side of the blade, looks really clean. Then you just have one body screw down here, and that's going to be T8. That is a nice touch. As far as the pocket clip goes, that's also a T8. Very, very nice touch. And T8 for the pivot. So T8 all the way around. Excellent job on Olitans' part. That just tells me that they are listening. And when I say this thing is smooth as hell, it almost feels like my Arno Bernard I Mamba. It feels like it's moving on glass. And like I said a little bit ago, or at least I think I did, I've had several of Olitans' more premium knives that just feel like more is going into them. Very impressive, especially at like $150. Now we're going to do a couple of checks and then introduce this to the spine whacker, perfectly centered up there. And the lockup is sitting about 40% or so. It looks really healthy. So that should definitely help us in the lock situation. The thumb studs are nice. They're comfortable. They're grippy. They're not overly grippy. And I think they're placed in the right spot. Easy to reverse flick this all day long. thumb flick is easy peasy. I like this quite a bit. Gonna be a popular gentleman's knife for sure. And if this is your first time ever seeing Olitans, or maybe it's your first time seeing a premium Olitans, there is a big fan base out there of this company, and for very good reason. But you can go over and select any one of their knives, the more premium stuff, and you're going to find a bunch of them are sold out. If not, every single model is sold out. So they do have a pretty high popularity, even though they're not on the mainstream, so to speak, what a lot of people would consider mainstream. They are right there, at least in my opinion. They have proven themselves to be worthy of that placement. Let's go ahead and see what we're looking at here. Do a couple of tugs up and down, side to side, and I don't feel any movement in there. Nice and tight on the lockup. We like it nice and tight. Let's go ahead. We'll start with a light tap out towards the tip just to get us going and get us started. We have had knives fail from just that very simple light tap, which is unacceptable. We'll bump it up here, close it and check it, give it another good shot, and it sounds good. Sounds really good, actually. Close it and check it. Yeah. Very good. That is exactly what we want to see. Oh yeah, very good. Nice and strong. Exactly what we're looking for. The double tap is more than enough to test this fella out. Like I said, we've had some fail from the lightest of light taps, which is unacceptable, but that just goes to show you can have a very powerful lockup and have incredible action all in the same package. You'll have to let me know what you think of the new Gecko here, and do you own any Olitans knives? I always look forward to hearing from you. I'll have a link and discount code down in the description. Do me a solid and hit that thumbs up button, and if you want to see more dope knife and EDC content just like this, make sure you're subscribed here to the channel and ring that bell. I'll pop up a couple of new videos you haven't seen yet. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.